Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston with the first Access Houston Roundtable for 2019. Welcoming my esteemed panel. She is an educator and a part of the Houston Disaster Recovery Strategist. She is the Houston Disaster Recovery Strategist, and it's been a while, but she is back. My friend Samantha Blair, welcome.
Hey.
Sam Blair on air. She is an author and political strategist. It is my pleasure to welcome the lovely Diedre Rasheed. Hello.
Hello, family.
He is the founder of PlusFest. He's an educator, performance poet, recent guest on Catfish, Grits, and Politics. Just an all-around great individual, humanitarian, my guy, Outspoken Bean.
What up?
What's
going on?
And he is the founder of I Love Third Ward brand, a videographer, photographer, and has an incredible documentary coming out about Frenchies in Third Ward. Please welcome, first time on the panel, Mr. Marc Furi. Welcome, sir.
I'm so happy to be here. I don't know what to do.
Hey, well, get your thinking cap on because we here to talk. This government shutdown. We 3 weeks in, almost 4. And I saw how Trump has summoned federal workers to go back to work without pay. And I thought to myself, work?
Man, I feel like I heard this, y'all, a long time ago in this country. Man.
13th Amendment.
Man,
What does it sound like?
It starts with an S.
Ends with a Y.
Ends with a Y. I can't remember. It's
in the
looking
middle,
at
it
my
has
tongue.
an A.
I can't remember.
No. And it has a B next to the A.
Anyway.
Call it what it is.
Anyway.
What it is.
Yeah.
Slavery.
Yeah.
Because
These
not
federal
only-
workers.
Right,
It's slavery.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause it
You're
wasn't
making
just
them.
that, right? It was that he sent them back to work. He said, you're coming back to work. And then originally he voted against giving them back pay.
Yeah.
So you're sending them to the work, but you're committed to not paying them. So then after he was put on Front Street, by the Democrats, now he turned around and said, okay, I'll give you back pay. I just need my IRS workers, not the whole IRS.
No, not all of
but
them.
just the IRS that gives you the check.
Because
The
he knows
IRS checks
that would affect his base.
and his economy. And then he also let the TSA workers back because, we don't want to stop the Trumps from traveling.
Well,
I mean, they're going to travel regardless. They got their own fleet because your girl, what's her name? Melania this morning just traveled to Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, on that flight that he wouldn't let Nancy go on?
Because
that
Nancy
one?
can't
On
get
the plane,
flew
that's
out.
right.
she can't get
she
flued out.
can't get
No,
blown
They're
out.
gonna see the troops.
But
It's
she
all
can go
shut down.
commercial.
Yeah,
can
Well,
go
now-
No,
commercial.
she couldn't go to commercial.
Oh, no,
She
you're
couldn't.
right. She
Wait.
couldn't go
Now,
commercial.
now-
They leaked the plans. He
Oh,
leaked
yeah,
the
so she
plans.
can't even
the
do that.
president leaked the plans.
Yeah, so she can't.
He leaked the plan. See, he
Yeah.
has, listen, every time he does something so stupid, I'm just like, he's doing exactly what Daddy Vladdy wants. He is doing everything Vladimir Putin wants.
He lives
And
in
Russia has
Italy.
literally, they have destabilized us.
Yes.
I'm being dead ass.
And
like,
they're
this is
laughing
so
at it.
dangerous. Like, in the words of Cardi B, bitch, I'm scared.
Yep.
Because
Facts.
That's
I
real
mean,
talk.
facts.
Real talk.
seriously.
Yes.
Like, this is
The long term.
Unbelievable.
The long term is
The
what?
long-term
It's the long
effects.
term.
Now,
Even if
2,
they come
3
back in right now, if they came back in right now, the back of it, like of what people need to do, of like, man, like I'm scared as well because I'm thinking about, not that I'm not thinking about like national parks, but I'm thinking about like food, like FDA. I'm thinking
the
about
FDA,
farmers.
yeah.
I'm thinking
there was
about
a list of some things that we should stay away from during
Yeah.
this government shutdown because of the FDA
They're not checking
being
your
affected.
beef. So those steaks
Right.
that you
The beef,
wanted, that
the
beef is
romaine
out.
lettuce.
The lettuce.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. That salmonella, that salad diet. This is not the time for the keto.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to go ahead and get in touch with some dry rice,
Right.
Okay.
carbohydrates.
Right.
Don't do all that other stuff.
Right.
Go
Even
ahead.
water. Like, it's so, that's really where I'm like, that's really where I'm like scared
Oh
about.
yeah, the Waller
of like
filtration
consumption.
system. Oh no. And then let's get back.
We've
to
already
this.
got a water
Can we go
issue
back
here
to
in
Cardi
Houston,
B?
but we'll go back. Yeah, what
Yeah,
you want to
can
say
we
about
go back
Cardi?
to Cardi
I love
B?
that she put
Let
that
me tell you
out.
something.
And
I
I don't
love
know. Did you all
Cardi B.
see the
I
senators?
love Cardi
Did you
B.
see the congressmen
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
were tweeting
Oh, yeah.
about it? Like, hey, I've been
Did
thinking
you
about
see the
recruiting.
Should I?
Did you see the clapback she
From
did
who?
on Trump? Did she
No.
say? And don't even say that Obama shut the government down.
He did it for
Oh, yeah,
health
She
care.
said she did it for health
So
care.
your grandma can get checked.
Yes.
So y'all girl can go
So
get
you can get your
y'all,
little tax
checked out.
She said it.
I love
She
it.
said it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And
Listen,
the fact that she had
listen.
even Chuck Schumer, like, hey guys, are you going to retweet? I'm waiting for you to
That's
retweet
right.
the
I
card.
mean,
And
it was on
honestly-
CNN. It was on Cuomo.
Yeah.
It was on Cuomo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don Lemon talked about it. And here's the thing. I feel like we are in the age of the millennial. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
the
they
age of
got
the
it
young black, because I think that this
Yeah.
generation coming up is much more bolder than we are. Like
Absolutely.
I have no desire for her to shut the to open back up or to give him any part of the wall to cut it off. Let me
I
tell
don't
you
want
why.
them to move.
Because here's the problem with that. Once you give in to a bully, that move's always on the table.
And that
That's right.
$5 billion is just the beginning because it
That's
takes
But you
20.
guys, you know, if this stays, if this goes another 3 days, we're already at that $5 billion mark in terms of how much this is costing the economy.
Right.
We're in a hole already.
We're
right,
already
but
in the
guess
hole.
what?
We're already
We
in
may
the
be in
hole.
a
They knew we
hole
were gonna be
We're already in a
but we
hole
don't
before
have a
it.
wall that ain't
You're
worth
right.
nothing.
We don't need that wall.
We don't need a wall.
Nobody wants the
And
wall.
Nobody
it's a
wants a wall.
it's a symbol. It's a
And
symbol.
you said
You
Mexico.
can't give them an inch. You can't give them an
Something
inch.
that-
Mexico.
another-
Somebody get Mexico.
Please, I mean, I
No,
remember.
we ain't even just worried about Mexico like that. We need to be worried
but
about
he said
everybody
Mexico
else.
we need to be worried about everybody
Lord.
else. We need to be worried about
Asian
Russia.
and
We need to be
Pacific
worried about
Islanders
China.
here. We've got Nigerians here. We need to be
Yeah.
worried about what's happening with Russia. I'm still mad.
And
Oh,
China?
no.
Vladdy, though.
Hey, I thought y'all said you was
Daddy
scared,
Vladdy.
KG.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I
in the
thought
words
you
of
said
Cardi
you
B,
was
yeah.
scared. Because
You
let's
know.
get back to scared. Like,
not
you know,
scared.
right now, Bean, the reason I'm scared is because Russia has been in the Middle Eastern seas, because they have been able to lock other countries out, because they are looking at the annexations of Crimea and the other areas that they're trying to now commandeer, because they're in Syria trying to pull the Soviet Union back to its place. For
Right.
the first time in American history, Russia has been able to do flyovers in that sea and to bring big military ships to where they're blocking U.S. ships out. He's not scared of us. He is not scared of us. He is not even feeling that this president will defend our homeland.
Exactly. He doesn't have a reason to be
won't.
scared.
Listen.
And he won't do it.
Trump, I mean, well, we have the Moscow deal on the table now, right? So Trump is doing his dealings over there. Of course, he's not afraid. He knows that that man is still going to be selfishly taking care of his own pockets and his own family. Trump will be okay at the end of the day, but the American
Oh,
public.
no,
You
Trump-
listen
no,
to
Trump
me.
won't be at-
You
no, Trump
listen
won't
to
be
me. You
okay.
listen to me good.
Trump won't
You
be
owe
okay.
me so much money.
He won't be okay.
You give me America.
yeah.
And if you do not do what I say, remember, I have P-tape.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the P-tape because I know the P-tape is real.
Oh, they're
And let
going to
me
drop
tell you,
as
the
soon
P-tape
as he's
is
no
real.
more good to
R. Kelly
them.
ain't the only one with the
They
tape.
will
That's
drop.
right.
They
That's
will
right.
drop that
They
tape
gonna
as
drop
soon
it.
as he is no good to
But let
them.
me say this to you. I'm going to go deeper than that. First thing, let me address this whole thing Trump is going to be. No, Trump will not. You got to look at New York and you got to know your balance of power. When Trump had a conversation with Governor Cuomo, he came out and during a rally, he came out and made fun of the governor of New York. That next day, New York made it its #1 pension. If you pardon anybody, we'll pick it up. If there's any portion of their action that is New York State, they will be prosecuted. And I do not intend to pardon.
That's why I
They've
thought it was so
already said
brilliant.
And he's
400
talking about
more.
himself.
That's-
He's talking about because Trump
Yeah.
is from New York. That's his
it.
governor.
That's it. That's
So
his
if he,
governor.
that's what he's saying.
And that's
what
why I
I'm
was glad that
telling you-
Mueller had filed those other cases in other states. So there's no way to get around
no
that
way.
pardon.
No, you
know,
can't
so
pardon.
anybody can't get
Right.
pardoned
And the
from
New
his.
York State just said that the foundation owes the state of New York $411 million. That's what they said. 411. What I'm telling you
Because
is
they've been paying.
they are diabolically taking apart him. And when they're finished with him, Russia will not protect them. And he will go down in New York. New York attorney generals only got elected upon one promise. If you can bring Trump down, you got our vote.
Pretty
Well, let's
much.
move on to the collusion with Russia because there seems to be more and more every day. Remember back in
changing.
16, 17, oh, this is a nothing burger.
I didn't say
Hello, Mariah.
the campaign colluded.
I
I just
didn't
said
say
the
that.
president didn't collude.
Look, listen here. We already know they lie like we breathe, but I want everybody to know that this isn't a nothing burger. That they're here.
It's
They've
real.
been here for a while, and nobody's saying this on cable news. We have a treasonous traitor as a president. I am saying it because that
that
is
guy said it,
exactly
and they
what
took his
it
clearance.
is. Okay, that's exactly what it is. It's treason.
Yeah.
He keeps doing things to appease and please our number one foreign adversary.
But you do remember John Brennan, the last chief of the is it CIA or the whole Defense Department area?
CIA.
It was a CIA
I
chief.
believe so.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he came out and said after Helsinki
Mm-hmm.
that Trump was a
Dangerous.
treasonous president.
Yes.
And after he said that, Trump did something that no other U.S. president has done. He concocted an enemies list of every intelligence officer who had critiqued him on his Helsinki performance or period, and he stripped them of their clearances.
Right.
If you recall
Sounds like another
that,
move from
that
Vladimir
was
Putin.
the move, which is why I think that the others have been less quick to
To say anything.
To say
And that's why when the
anything.
news about him taking the notes from the interpreter from that and then,
Mm-hmm.
keeping it from his top officials.
because he's stupid.
That's-
Because he's stupid.
We
Now
didn't just
Russia has
find
it.
this out,
Russia
though.
has it.
Russia has it, and so they're able to blindfold you and blackmail you because Russia has it and the U.S. doesn't. Now, if you had it to where both of us were in the room, then they couldn't blackmail you because there was nothing that had not been shared with your side. But he continuously falls into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that, and I honestly feel this way, that he did not think he was going to win the presidency.
I don't think
That's
he
No.
did
true.
either.
That's
We can look
true.
at
No.
look at his face.
No,
Look,
I think
no,
I remember when he got elected.
no,
I remember that night. I remember
no,
looking at him,
no,
and he had the
did not feel
face.
He felt
Who was that?
like
He had the
No, right.
face.
Who was that
At the
celebrity?
inauguration,
No.
before he came out at the inauguration,
No.
he had
Russia at
the
the
O
election.
What was his name, Mark?
face.
Who was that
No.
celebrity that was his friend that said that just kind of said like, yeah, he didn't think he was going to win, so that's
Howard
why he was
Stern?
like,
Yeah.
it was Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Howard
No,
Stern
he
said-
said that. And let me say this to you. The reason you know that he didn't think he was going to win is the very reason that we're discussing now. They didn't tie up those loose ends. They never thought there would be a conversation about Russian contacts. What he felt is he was going to use the presidential campaign to further his business accrements, to get more business deals, to broker more financial things. He did not feel that Russia was going to win. And I'm going to say this. It's going to offend
Russia
some
did win.
Democrats. It's going to offend some Democrats, but you need to do what I say. Put your big girl panties on and deal with it. Because at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton didn't do her job.
That-
Did not do her job.
And let me say this to you. In the Obama campaign, we also struggled with people who cheated. But the problem is it's hard to hide a million landslide votes. You see, but if you're just on the corner, if it just takes 14,000 votes out of Michigan for you to flip, any foreign power can go in and do that without alerting anyone.
Mhm. Now
if you-
Hillary didn't do her job, but
She
I
did not.
will say there was, I think it was the second debate. There was a video on social media that was floating around the second debate where Hillary warned us about how Vladimir Putin had Trump by the cojones and how he is a puppet, and he was like, I'm not a puppet, you're a puppet, and she laid out everything that had came out back then that really no one was really paying attention to or didn't take it seriously.
Because Mitch McConnell threatened
And she
him.
right,
Her emails.
who's the real reason
Mitch
for all this?
McConnell
And I
is
wonder if
the real
Obama sits
traitor.
back and looks at this now and say, "Damn, I should have been more aggressive with this instead of."
He let that white side come up.
Well, I think that. I think it was
Politics.
a tough
It's
place
politics.
because it would have looked like that he was,
I'd have still
going
done
for
it.
the other side.
I'd have still
But,
done it.
Yeah, I think I still would have
Because
too
here's
because the
the-
country
hindsight.
it
But no,
definitely
it's an old thinking, and let's just be real and call it what it is. Because the generation prior to our parents' generation was more militant, was more bold, was more in your face. When you deal with that Malcolm X area where it is the struggle between Martin and Malcolm, but both of them are saying what needs to be said, just in a different attribute.
Yeah.
One is more confrontational, and one gives
Same
it to
message,
you
just
covered in
different
some ice
approaches.
cream and candy, but you still getting the vitamin in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that when we deal and we see this right now, we see a generation that, if I can take the gloves off, there were more punks than there were soldiers. Because at the end of the day, the Republicans, if the shoe was on the other foot, Mitch McConnell would not have let Chuck Schumer say, if you tell that Hillary Clinton is under investigation for Russia, they would have dropped
Deidre.
it. But the Democrats
Come
have
on now,
always
you
been the
know
Molly
that.
party, the punk party, the party that breaks first. That's why Trump doesn't know how to act. He's never had another person at the table who forces him to really grab his cojones and claim his manhood. He's always had those little weak men, and Chuck Schumer was weak. He just now found his manhood. I don't
Well,
know
I
where
mean,
he found it. It was
I felt
lost
for
somewhere.
years that the
He found
Democratic
it
Party
underneath
was
the
weak,
table.
period.
I think he was
always
waiting for
felt that
Nancy
they
to
should
bring
fight
it.
like the Republicans fight, but
That's
they
right.
never
They
did.
don't.
I
They
always
don't.
felt-
They don't.
Let's move on
And a
before
part of
we-
that.
before we
But
run
that's
out of
gonna set
time.
the
Go ahead.
precedent for 2020, because we're thinking about how 2020 is going to look. And do you remember seeing how it was all these Republicans standing up on this stage in 2020?
Right, and they all got
gonna see
knocked
the
out.
same
Same
thing. happen
thing.
on the
I think that's a good
Democratic
thing.
side
You think
coming
so?
up.
I think that's a good
Oh, I
thing.
think
Will
it's
have an
very
income-
good.
you
I
I
think
think
they'll
that's a
have
good
somebody
thing
run
because you
against
got to
them?
fight it because he's not. If they get to Trump doesn't go by the rules. He doesn't go by facts. He
No.
doesn't go by the rules that are established of like debates.
I mean, he's a crime boss. I mean,
Right, right.
He's got mob ties.
But
Right.
like,
Hire
however,
some help. Really.
like all of these Democratic people, you know what I mean, going for this
Candidates,
one
yeah.
candidate. That's a good like it's like
And
a
it jumps up
gladiator.
both.
It's like a
jumps up
gladiator
both.
thing, and
Yeah.
you're going to have to be sharp because the video game boss is an orange who doesn't go. So you can't just sit there and just smile and be like, okay,
Yeah,
you know what I
you
mean?
have to
Like
find
you
you.
can't take the
That's
high
the
road
thing.
with him. You
But,
can't.
but
can't.
here's the
That's
thing:
true.
you can't play the
There's
low
a
road
lot-
with him. Let's not
there's
get it
so much
convinced.
dissension in
Mark
that.
Rubio, you can't take the low road with him. You've got to act like you're the elephant and with a gnat on you. He's doing. He's
Marc
saying, I'm
Rubio
screwing
did
the
that
crap-
afterwards.
Hold on a second. He's saying I'm screwing the crap out of him, and the elephant can't feel him. At some point, you have to make it to where you don't even pay any attention to him. You kind of slide him off. If you watched how Beto O'Rourke handled him, that's the way you handle Trump. You don't, when he says something, you laugh it off like you don't even consider him. Why is he in the
Important.
room? What the
You
hell
have to
is
get
he
hit to
saying?
his ego.
right.
You got to get to his
because
ego.
that's when you play with his mind. When you don't give him the reaction he expects you to give him.
Yeah. Let's move on to so he Nancy Pelosi sent him a letter saying, hey, since the government is shut down, I feel that you should push back the State of the Union address.
For a logical reason.
Yeah, and in response,
It's very
like a
logical.
fifth grader that he is, he sent her a
Compromised
letter
intelligence.
and said that no, you can't go either.
Tell him where she can't go, though. Tell him where she can't go.
She can't go to Afghanistan. She can't go
see the
to
truth.
see the
To
truth.
see the
yeah,
truth.
in the war zones. Could not do
Even though
that.
We shouldn't have known about, by the
Yeah.
way. We shouldn't have
but he
known
hasn't,
he was
he hasn't
going.
been to Afghanistan.
But I don't know why
And
we
so he
can't go.
told her
Didn't we
name.
defeat ISIS?
No, I think 4 soldiers were just killed the other day.
Yeah, they had 2
So,
civilians, 2 soldiers. Yeah.
But on this whole ordeal, like to be fair,
No, KG, don't do it.
I mean, but to be fair, if her reasoning is you can't do this because the government is shut down, and he comes back with, well, you can't use this military aircraft to go into a war zone because because the government is shut down. I mean,
Well,
Okay,
it's not
no.
the same. It's not the same.
Very different.
It's not
I
the
mean, just to
same.
be-
It's not the
to
same,
be
bruh.
fair,
It's not the same because she says you might want to consider to postpone. He took the plane. You know what I'm saying? It's
She
not the
diminished
same.
Everything that the troops are actually doing overseas, because he said you're going out here on a vacation in so many words. It's not a vacation
Right.
to go into
It's
a war
work.
zone. He
Yeah.
went over to get intelligence from
His
Iran more than a
behind
week
just
ago.
got on a war zone.
He
was scared to go.
He went over to Iran to gain intelligence. This woman is going over here to do her job and gain intelligence, and he's blocking that. But then he gave the same federal plane that we're still paying our dollars for to send his wife to Mar-a-Lago.
Facts.
This man has problems. This
Yeah.
is not fair.
Yeah, but let's break
They
it-
are- I
Yeah.
wanted to say
Yeah.
that this was a childish little spat between the both of them, but it goes beyond that.
And
KG.
Samantha's
It goes so
right.
beyond
I think
that.
that
Samantha's
I
right.
don't think that
Let's go
hers was
deep into
childish
that.
in the beginning. Well,
Yeah.
Well, hurry up because we don't have time.
Okay,
I do
but
want to get
just
to
real
Mark's
quick,
documentary.
if you love
though.
the military and you want to check on the military and how you're doing, since you're talking about pulling troops out of Afghanistan, it would be reasonable. It would be reasonable before you make that type of decision that you go over there to make an informed decision. So I don't take it on the same
So how
level.
can you talk
And
about
why are
the
you
State
getting
of
up
the
talking
Union?
about the
Right,
State
right.
of the Union? The State of the Union is closed. So why are you talking? You're the head of a government that is not working.
State of
What
the
are
Union
you
is
saying?
not good
Just
right
put
now.
a closed sign over your mouth and take the picture and send us the speech in writing so we can burn it in fireplaces of people who can't pay their electric bill.
Oh, ooh.
Okay.
Okay,
Facts.
dude. Hey, we got
All right.
Mark, you've got a documentary that is coming out. Tell us about it, Dre.
Well, it's in production, so it's going to be a while. But I just started, back up to like last spring and a few years ago, like I've always wanted to do a documentary on Frenchies. I have this compulsive behavior of like documenting everything around me.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Like I took pictures as a kid and, just with disposable cameras and not even realizing that could take me somewhere. I got into filmmaking just because I just always wanted to do it. My first movie was a comedy, and since then I've done all kind of small, short documentaries that are really good. I love Third Ward. I guess we can talk about that in a second. Bringing that to now, knowing that Frenchie's is not going to be there, at least the original building is not going to be there. It's still going to persist. They have they're going to move into a temporary location. It looks nice, and it's going to be a big 2-story mega Frenchie's up the street.
You mean not the one from Jada Pinkett?
What about Jada Pinkett?
You remember in the movie, what was that movie that she did?
Jason's Lyrics,
where she was in Frenchie's. She was walking through the line in Frenchie's.
I'm going to come back to Jason's Lyrics because I've never watched it all the way through because I just couldn't. I just couldn't handle it.
It's the original Frenchie's.
Anyway, back to Frenchie's though.
Fourth Ward.
So back to Frenchie's. Frenchie's is going to be like how we feel about, the Scott Street location not being there when they tear it down. Mm-hmm. It's going to feel like when we go down 610 and we see Astroworld in there. No, it didn't hit people yet. Like how they going to feel when it's gone. So what I was doing is documenting how people felt about it while it was still there.
Yeah.
Because any day now it's going to get torn down. Like, I don't know. It was probably open today. I don't know when it's actually going to happen. But I wanted to interview people while it was still there because it's going to be a completely different energy after that. Right. And I want to interview, I've been talking to the Crusoe family since last spring about getting it done, that sort of thing. So we finally the ball started rolling. Just kind of document what's happening all the way up until the new location happens. And I think it's going to be a cool story. And there's so much history just with Frenchie's alone. Right. And, we can expand now to talk about Third Ward. So my whole I Love Third Ward movement started from an art project that I did at Project Row Houses. If anybody's not familiar with Project Row Houses, it's an art space that exists in Third Ward where every 6 months a round of new artists can transform this row of shotgun houses, historic shotgun houses. And it's been around since the 90s. A lot of people don't know that that's what it is. They drive past Holman Street and Live Oak and they just, some houses. And, they don't think about it. But there's all kind of gems and treasures throughout Third Ward. So I was invited to be part of the 47th round, which was like 2017, 2018, where I kind of, conveyed my love for Third Ward by putting I Love 3W on the outside really big. I was invited because I did a short comedy about gentrification in 2008. That was part of an HBO contest. I got third place. The only reason why I didn't get first place was because I did a comedy. Everybody else did like, serious, dramatic, serious stuff. And it had to be about home ownership. So I was the only person that thought about making a protest.
Putting a comedic spin to it.
Yeah.
He was just being a little real.
Yeah, just being real. So it got a buzz, like the people at Project Row House loved it. And I didn't realize till recently that they watched that movie before their meetings and stuff and talk about, because it was profound. It was talking about the area and that sort of thing, the changes. Mm-hmm. So inside of the house, I made a big Monopoly board because that was my emotional translation of how I felt about gentrification. I live in Third Ward. I live right by Frenchie's. And I've been there for like 15 years. I was in Third Ward as a kid and moved back and bought a house as an adult. I got a fixer-upper. So that being said, I saw all the changes firsthand. Like I live on a block. And it's now like 10 I can just say it, 10 white families on my block now. When I first moved there, it was like all old black people. And like the houses, they people would die and the house would be for sale. And I tell all my friends of means that have good jobs, please get a house on this block. Please get a house on this block. Is a house available? I got to fix it up. Yeah, but it's going to be worth like way more than wherever else you're trying to go. Man, they got crime over there. Yeah, but they got crime everywhere. Man, I'm going to get this house in Pearland. Move out to Pearland.
Taxes, though. It's that you get taxed out by all the people who are building up around you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're looking forward to this, man. This is going to be great. I mean, our time is up.
I had so much to say.
I know we're going to
follow I Love Third Ward on Instagram. I love 3RD Ward on Instagram. That's how you track down everything I'm up to. I got all kind of exciting things to show you guys. So
we can't wait for it.
Bean was gonna drop a poet. I was ready
hey,
for the whole thing,
we done talked so much. But tomorrow is the national holiday of the great Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes,
we've got the
so excited.
MLK breakfast.
Great
and
man.
We've got
Great man.
the parade. There are still 2 parades, but we are behind the 41st annual original MLK Day parade,
sure
which
they
has
go.
a new route.
Right.
HEB is now a new sponsor. I know when they had the press conference and I saw HEB up there. I was like, it's a wrap. Go to bed. Other people like y'all, you lost. HEB is behind it. Like it's crazy.
It's gonna
But
be lit.
remember,
Definitely.
it's gonna be. It's a day on, not a day off. And so the new route is the same route as the Thanksgiving Day parade. So we're going to start at Lamar and Smith, and then it'll end at City Hall. And then after that is the third annual MLK Festival, where they'll have vendors and food and entertainment on Herman Square in front of City Hall. So it's going to be a great day. We hope to see you out there tomorrow. And I hope to see y'all again because,
KG.
This is we always get it in, but it never seems to be enough time.
Never.
Never.
Don't
So
forget
thank you.
to give a shout out to the founder of the original MLK
Oh,
parade.
yeah.
He passed
He
away
passed
this
away.
year.
Yes, he did.
And so I just want to say to the family of Ovi Duncantel, we owe you so much as a community,
Yeah.
to a man who continued to make sure we never forgot. He is the person that is responsible for what we now have, the MLK area, the MLK statue. And that park area with the
Yep.
bricks of all those that have gone on before us. So
Yep. So, rest in peace.
I
And
mean,
thank you all.
Closing
Go
it
ahead.
off, I guess we can't forget our quote we said.
Oh,
Can we
yeah,
have
our
a
MLK
collective
quote.
agree?
Everybody else. Let's start with you.
yes,
Deidre, you got
yes.
one?
My favorite quote is, in the end, it is not the words of your enemies, but the silence of your friends that you
Yeah.
will remember most.
My favorite quote, especially right now, is that darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only love can do that.
My favorite is whenever a man and woman straightens their back, they are going somewhere because a man can't ride your back unless it is bent.
Go
That's
ahead.
a good one.
Powerful.
That is a good one. Sam?
I said mine already.
Oh, you said your.
I
Oh,
just
Mark,
said
my
mine.
bad.
I said a good one too,
KG,
especially
I think he's
considering
still
these
looking.
days and these
Is he
times.
still looking? Oh,
Yeah.
The time is always right to do what is right.
That's
There you go.
Nice.
Integrity.
That's it.
Mine would be the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in
that's
moment
powerful.
of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the time of challenge and controversy.
Which
Said some
is
good stuff.
what determines the true character of the
Which-
man.
Of a man, yes.
That's
that
a
is mine.
poet.
Hey, ain't that a bar? That's a bar. Deidre, Bean, Mark, Sam, thank you all so much. I appreciate y'all. Happy MLK Day. Happy New Year.
MLK.
Yes.
Happy MLK, y'all.
New Year,
Yes,
happy
be the
MLK.
light. The fight is still going
Indeed.
on. Struggle
The
to
king.
close.
Go get
Indeed.
motivated.
So I will see y'all next time. And thank you for listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access Houston. Listening to Access